Last week, I had the chance to watch The Backrooms by Kane Parsons, so here are my thoughts regarding the movie with spoilers so you've been warned. But first, let me give my hats off to Kane Parsons for being so young yet being able to direct a movie like this for A24 is just something that I could never see myself doing. With that being said, let me start off with the positives regarding this movie. Now, whether you found the movie to be scary or not, that totally depends on you. Me personally, I think the movie does a great job at making you feel unease, especially once the characters are able to go inside the back rooms. That's when the movie starts to get really interesting. If you have seen any of King Parsons' work regarding the back rooms, especially his YouTube series, then you would definitely be a fan of this movie. Every time they would go to the cam footage, that's where I think King Parsons shines best as a director. One thing that I would definitely want to give praise to this movie more than anything, other than the set designs, of course, which are amazing, is the fact that it does a really amazing job at making you feel the tension and how uneasy you are gonna feel, especially the way they play out the music within this movie and making you think, oh yeah, something's definitely wrong. We should get the fuck out of here. Now I'm gonna get into my negatives within this movie because obviously not everything is perfect. And although I do praise Kim Parsons for doing a decent job for his first Hollywood movie, there are some things that definitely need to be worked on. When it comes to the characters in this movie, I think at best they're all pretty decent. They do a pretty well-rounded job making you care about Clark, who is the protagonist, or at least the protagonist in the first half of the movie, and seeing how he is as a person and where he is in life. You do feel bad for the guy, and at the end, it kind of feels tragic when he ends up dying to the entity who ends up looking like his captain version from the commercial he did. And yeah, I mean, definitely the movie does a well-rounded job making you care for him a bit, but I do think the rest of the characters are just pretty flat in my opinion and not as interesting as maybe some people would have wanted them to be. Now, where I think this movie suffers a lot is after the first seeing how the backrooms look and then having the characters come back to the real world. I think that's where the movie really starts to drag, especially because you're so immersed in discovering what's inside of this universe, which is so unreal yet uneasy, that everything else regarding people being in the real world is just slow. And I don't know, the dialogue isn't bad, but it's not engaging enough to making you feel entertained up until the characters go back inside the backrooms. Now, what I'm about to say is, I don't think this is really the movie's fault, but if you had different expectations regarding this movie, like you think it was going to be more of an interpretation of the Roblox type of backrooms, or you just had no knowledge regarding this type of film, then I think you are definitely going to come out of the theater being disappointed simply because this movie isn't really what most people thought it was going to be, especially if you had no idea of the lore, at least regarding Kane Parsons' lore of the backrooms. Now, for some context, I did watch Kane Parsons' original Backroom series in YouTube that he did before ever making this movie. So when I went to watch it, I fully was able to understand the vision that he was going for. But if you haven't seen his YouTube series or are not familiar with any of the Backrooms lore, then I can totally see many of you guys getting out of the theater and being confused as to what the heck just happened, because that was many of the reactions that I saw when I went to watch this movie with the people around me. Another thing that maybe gives the movie less points is because it does a great job at making you feel curious and getting your attention of what could possibly be more when it comes to the backrooms. I think the payoff really is pretty weak, or you can argue that there's no payoff at the end to making you care for anything else regarding that type of strange universe, which I think it will only happen again if you're not familiar with what the Backrooms is, or at least the Backrooms that Kate Parsons has created. Also, if you're super into the horror genre, I truly think this movie will not be it, at least when it comes to trying to make you feel scary. This is more like a psychological horror, but more than anything, it's just more of a suspense movie, if I'm honest. So if you're trying to watch something to get scared of, I think this movie will suffer in that department. Other than that, I think it's an entertaining movie, and I'm really excited to what Kim Parsons has for the future of making a sequel regarding the Backrooms. Now, to end this video off, I would give this movie a decent 7 out of 10. When it comes to the positive, being the mystery around the backrooms, the tension it builds, and the musical notes for you to feel that set of uneasiness, I think that's where the movie shines best. And when it comes to characters and payoff, I think that's where the movie starts to suffer. So yeah, 7 out of 10. What do you guys think of the movie if you've seen it? And if you've not, I would say definitely go watch it if you have nothing else to watch for the summer. And this is Infinite Topics. If you like the style of content, give a like, follow, repost. And if, as always, if you made it this far into the video, thank you guys. God bless you all and take care.